Hello everyone. So today we're going to be taking a look at this 2016 Volvo V40. And special thanks to McGinley Motors, Mazda, Land Rover, Peugeot and Volvo for allowing me to come down here and review this car for you guys today. For all contact information in regards to this dealership, please see the description box below. So in today's review, we'll be taking a look at the interior of the car. I'll explain how all the features work. We'll also start up, look at the engine, go over the performance data and take a look around the exterior. I'm also going to take the car on a detailed test drive. So what I'm going to do first is fire up the engine and we'll take a look around the exterior. So to do that, in traditional Volvo style, key fob goes up here. And just apply the clutch and press the start stop button again. And we'll also turn on the exterior lights, so headlights, rear fog lamp and hazards, and all four windows are fully automatic. Okay, so this particular V40 I have is the top of the range Inscription model, so it's the most luxurious, and this one has the LED headlights, and when the indicators are not blinking, that particular strip that they light up is your LED running daylights, but you can also have secondary LED running daylights located down here in place of this chrome strip. So this particular V40 is finished in muscle blue metallic. It's a very nice colour. I've seen a few Volvos in this colour before, including S90s and the XC60, and it just looks really nice. And also one rare thing about the V40 I've not seen in any other car, where most cars have two washer nozzles, the V40 has three. Not entirely sure why. Maybe it's just a unique styling feature, but I can't be sure. And also the Inscription comes with these 17-inch 8-spoke alloy wheels on Michelin tyres. Very nice design. It's got ventilated steel disc brakes in the front with solid discs in the rear, as well as an independent McPherson strut front suspension with a multi-link setup in the rear. And you also got very nice chrome accent trim going around the side windows. I think the chrome actually stands out very well in the muscle blue. And you also got your LED indicators on the exterior mirrors. And coming around to the rear, very nicely designed taillights. And you also got your rear parking sensors. And the reversing camera itself is located just underneath the V here. As you can see, you also got the model designation on the boot as well. So D2 refers to the 2-litre diesel engine in this, and this is of course the Inscription. I'll actually caption in the actual dimensions of the boot in the screen there on the bottom right. But as you can see, it's pretty good in size. I got a few things back in there, such as my tripod and so on, and there's still a good bit of cargo room left. Very typical hatchback size boot. And just coming around to the back seat area, I should show you that there are two separate handles located up here. So this one on the left folds down the seats, and this one here just folds the rear headrest. Now unfortunately with the V40, the back seats, as you can see, don't go down completely flat, mainly because the seat base itself doesn't actually fold up like in some other cars, and you do get quite a sizable ledge between the boot and the rear seats themselves. But in saying that, the boot space is quite decent, and with the seats fold down like this, I suppose you could haul a few large items in the back in a pinch if you really needed to. So coming along to the back seat area of the car, this particular V40 has the charcoal leather interior. Very nicely designed door handles. I really like the way the silver trim goes around and tapers down. Looks quite good. You also got a very small door bin, but you also get these little bits of extra storage located off to the side of each rear seat. Not really sure what you could put in there, maybe a little packet of gum or something, but nice to have little bits of extra storage when you can. Now as far as room goes, there's quite a lot of legroom back here. Quite spacious, and you also got map pockets in the back of each front seat. You also got a decent amount of headroom as well. Rear window is a little on the narrow side, but it's not too bad. And also you got the center armrest, and your cup holders are actually very cleverly disguised down here. You just pull this little tag and they're revealed. But the back seat area of this car is quite spacious, very roomy, but certainly compete with the likes of a Volkswagen Golf or indeed a Kia Ceed. So let's hop into the front of the V40. So the driver's seat is fully electric with 3-person memory settings. And also your power folding mirror controls are located here. You just hold in the left and right buttons. So we'll just turn off the rear fog lamp and put the headlights back into automatic and turn off the hazards. So for the interior of the V40, you got a 3-spoke leather wrap multifunction steering wheel with electric power assisted steering. You also got your 10 and 2 notches located up here at the top. Very nice to have them. And also you got your standard cruise control located off to the left with your basic radio controls and voice command located off to the right. This here is your volume controls, and you can use this wheel here to navigate to your radio stations. And then you just push the wheel in to make a selection. And you also got this very nice silver trim which makes up the middle spoke in the steering wheel. Now this particular car has been fitted with a 12.3-inch active TFT display. This here actually comes as standard as part of the style pack. And you can operate it by using these controls located on the indicator stock. So you twist this one, you got your return button, and then you press OK to make selections. So if we press OK, we go into a couple of these selections. First thing you got is themes. So at the moment it's in performance, which sprites up everything in red, and as you can see it shows up in that screen as well. And that one is turned blue because we are now in eco mode. And then you got elegance. I think we'll leave it in performance, it's definitely the nicest looking one. Then if I just twist the wheel, you can see the little screens down there in the bottom left and right change. So the big screen is displaying the speed in kilometers per hour, but this one down here in the bottom right displays it in miles per hour. And it just gives you different trip computer information there. So going back into this menu, you can also go through the vehicle messages, trip computer reset, your service status, oil level, and if we click contrast mode, it just darkens the screen. And back into it again to click color mode. So it's a very nice display and easy to use, and as you can see you also got the fuel gauge located off to the left there, and everything is a very nice LCD display, nice LED lights for the gear shift recommendation. So located off to the right here, you got the automatic rain sensing windshield wipers. They're activated at the moment, as you can tell by the green LED lights. And then off to the right here, as I said, you got automatic headlamps. You also got your boot release, and underneath here you got a good bit of storage as well, deep enough in size, you can fit a few things in there. And this car also has the auto dimming interior mirror. So coming into the center console, we'll just turn up the volume for the radio.
No shoes, no shirt, and I still get service. Wow.
So it's got pretty good sound quality, very clear. And also if you want to adjust the sound quality, you can just press this button here, and then you use these controls to select things. So you twist this one to go through your different selections, and then you got your OK and return. And you can adjust things like the bass, treble, fader, balance, equalizer, and so on from here. So we'll just go back. You got all your other controls located into the center console, but if I just click return twice, first time brings you into AM and FM, but back here you can select between your navigation, radio, media, phone, my car, internet, which connects to your Wi-Fi in your phone, as well as your reversing camera. Now you do have shortcuts, of course, for all them selections located here, as you can see, the way they're laid out. So you got your eject button for the CD player, radio, media, and if I just scroll the wheel, or actually if I press media once more, you can select between the CD player, USB, iPod, the hard disk drive, as well as Bluetooth. And then you also can select your phone from here just by pressing telephone. This car also has satellite navigation. Now it's not displaying any roads at the moment. It probably is because I'm sitting on the top of a multi-story car park, not down at street level. But you can also zoom in and out by twisting the dial located on the right here, as you can see. I have used this satellite navigation in other Volvos, and I'll say that the display is excellent. It's very, very good indeed. And then you got other things like the internet that I was talking about earlier, as well as your preset stations located here. And then you also have the typical climate control layout. So in Volvos, you just got a little diagram of a person, and as you can see, you got 3 different zone selections. You also got your air conditioning, and this Inscription also has 3-stage heated front seats for the driver and passenger side, of course. And then located below that, you've got your park assist. You can turn that on and off from here, as well as the start-stop system. And in traditional Volvo fashion, you got this floating center console, and this one has the milled aluminium finish. And you also got storage, as you can see there, just located behind the center console itself. You also get a very similar floating center console design in the Range Rover Evoque. It's one thing I noticed. And this car also has the 6-speed manual transmission, and when you put it into reverse, the backup camera comes on, as well as the guidance lines. And also you got 2 cup holders, as well as a 12-volt power outlet, as well as a very nicely padded center-mounted armrest, which also holds your USB, plenty of storage, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. So the interior of the V40 is a very nice place to be. It's got very comfortable seats, a very nice interior design, especially with the traditional waterfall style center console that they do. Some people say that they think these controls in Volvos are a little complicated in the way they're laid out, but personally for me, maybe it's because I've been driving a lot of Volvos in recent months, I've got used to it, but I think they're very simple. I mean, everything located here on the top half, as you can see, is for the radio, and everything below is for your climate controls. So it is a very simple layout. And also I really like the 12.3-inch TFT display there as well. I like the fact that you can have different colours and the customization for it. But let's go ahead and check out the engine. And the bonnet release is located here in the passenger side. The engine is a 2-litre turbo diesel. This one in particular, being the D2, produces 120 brake horsepower with a top speed of 118 miles per hour. It also puts out 207 foot-pounds of torque, and the estimated fuel consumption combined is 78.5. The D3 also features the same 2-litre diesel engine and produces 150 horsepower, and the D4 produces 190 horsepower. Okay, so just starting the test drive part of the review. So we're going to head out to the dual carriageway and see what it's like on power. So foot down in second gear. Yeah, okay, there's a good strong pull from the 2-litre diesel engine. And I'm also very glad I have the performance display on the screen there, because it just looks so cool with the red gauges and the yellow dial and the very big numbers. One thing I gotta say about the V40 though is this is probably one of the nicest hatchbacks I've driven. I mean, I've driven quite a few hatchbacks over the years, and the Volkswagen Golf has always seemed to be the benchmark for hatchbacks like the V40 or the Kia Ceed or the Ford Focus to beat. But I have to say, I honestly think I prefer the V40 over the Golf. First off, styling wise, you know, the Mark 7 Golf, you know, it's an alright looking car. I mean, it's not ugly or anything. It's just compared to its competition like the V40 and the Ceed and even the Ford Focus, it's just, I don't know, a bit bland. I really like the way the V40 looks, and even this Inscription model with this muscle blue metallic paint is a very nice looking car. But personally, if I were to buy a V40, which I would by the way, if I was buying a hatchback, this would definitely be up there with one of my choices. I'd have to get the R Design, because we have an R Design sitting back at the dealership, and I might actually cut over to some footage of it towards the end of this review. And it's just such a cool looking car. It's got twin exhausts, it's got the sporty body kit, it's got sport seats inside. It's just a really nice looking car, and that's definitely the one I would buy. But one thing I have to say about driving the V40, and I've driven a few of them by the way over the past few months, is it feels engaging, it feels sporty. I mean, these gear changes, for example, from 5th down to 4th there, I mean, there's very short throws in between gears, and you know, it's just such a smooth transmission. It just feels sporty, and even these seats, right? I mean, as I said, this is the Inscription. Even these seats feel kind of sporty and aggressive, and there's a good bit of side upholstering there. And the seats in the R design are even sportier again. So I don't know, it's just the overall feel of the V40. The word sport, I think, is definitely one to describe it, because it feels fun to drive. You know, it handles well. The gear changes, as I said, you know, nice short throws, and the acceleration, it's very good as well. So it's definitely an engaging, sporty, fun car to drive. Okay, so we're just going to see about this acceleration once more. Now pulling from third gear. Okay, foot down. Yeah, very, very good. I'll just put it into sixth. Now, I love driving this thing, I really do. The V40, definitely a fun, engaging little car to drive. I think I'll actually just put up the fifth, because we're going uphill here. And another thing about these sporty gauges is off to the right here it says power, and it just shows you what gear you're in, and every time you adjust the throttle, you know, the gauge moves and everything. It's a really cool looking display. So yeah, if I had a V40, I would definitely get the optional style pack for this screen, and I'd have it in performance mode all the time. But you know what, as I said, I've driven a couple of these now, and they're very easy to drive as well. That's the other thing I'll say. I mean, the seats are comfortable, you got a heated windscreen, all-round visibility in this car is excellent. There's a good view out through that back window. Now, I know I said when I was in the back of the car earlier, when I was looking out, I thought the window was a bit narrow, but you know what, looking at it through this interior mirror, you can see where you're going just fine. Headrests get a little in the way, but honestly, the rear visibility in this car is very good. And then there's the size. I mean, it is a hatchback, and you know, it looks small on the outside, but it feels big on the inside. You know, it's got that kind of feel to it. So overall, I have to say, at the moment, I'm really enjoying the V40. But now we're going to take it out onto some back roads, and we're going to see what the handling's like. Okay, so out here in these back roads that I normally take, and going over some of the rougher patches, the suspension is doing a very good job at absorbing all the little bumps and ridges and potholes that we have on this particular road. It's a very comfy car, and of course, as I said earlier, you know, the seats really help out with that as well. There's a very good amount of comfort from them, good side upholstering. But we're just coming up to a tight left-hander here. Yeah, and the steering feels very sharp and direct, so it does. You know, you can certainly feel where the car is going every time you move the wheel. Feels sporty, it feels planted. And coming up to another right-hander here. Yeah, no, there's definitely a good response from the steering, and the suspension, as I said, is excellent. It's soft and it's comfortable. It absorbs all the ridges in this road very well. And we're just coming over Blind Bridge here in the second, and around this last tight bend. Yeah, no, that's quite good now. I'm very impressed with the way this thing drives out in the back roads. I mean, that was just a little taster there. There are more back roads around here, but I'm not very familiar with them, so that's why I always take that particular one. But let's head back into town. Okay, excellent acceleration. So we're just on our way back to McGinley Motors now, and I'm going to sum up the V40 very simply. I think this is an excellent little car. As I said, towards the end here, I'm going to put in some footage of the 2015 R design that we have sitting around. It's a nice white one. I love the V40 to drive. I mean, out in the open roads, it's a smooth, relaxing, comfortable car to drive on the back roads. You know, it feels sporty, it feels planted, it handles very well. So it's definitely one of them hatchbacks that I would highly recommend. I mean, I know the market for hatchbacks these days has just exploded. I mean, everybody's doing hatchbacks now, even Mercedes have that little A-Class. I mean, you got hatchbacks, but if I were to buy V40 in the morning, as I said, I would definitely get the R-Design model, because you can also have this 2-litre diesel engine producing 190 horsepower, whereas this one is 120. I would get the 190 horsepower V40 in passion red with the half black leather interior, because it has cloth, I believe, in the center. Now, you can also have full black leather like I have here, but honestly, I would rather the half leather interior. So that would be my choice if I was to buy a brand new hatchback. But overall, as I say, guys, I love this car. great to drive, good equipment as standard. So for all content information, as I said, just check the description box below. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Okay, so this is the 2015 R design I was talking about. And as you can see, you get a different front bumper with LED running daylights, silver mirror caps, and 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels, exclusive to the R design. This one also has the tinted rear windows. And coming around to the rear, as you can see, you got the twin exhausts as well. Look very nice, and a rear diffuser style bumper. Now if we just come into the interior, there's a few different changes. So as you can see here, you got the half leather. So this bit is leather, as well as this, and the headrest, and you actually got some perforations there, and then the rest of it is just fabric. And even the steering wheel is different too. I just hop in here. You can see it's perforated around here, and you got the R Design logo. And also off to the side here, now you really only notice this when you're feeling the steering wheel, but it kind of gets just a little flat on this bit here, and then there's a bit of a bulge. And even coming into the center console, it's finished here in black, but you got the silver stripe with these little blue stripes going off to each side. So as I said, the V40 R Design is definitely one of the coolest looking cars I think you can get. Really nice interior trim, and it looks brilliant from the outside. So I think this in red with the silver mirror caps will be a very cool looking car. You see it just nice there, and then over there we got the one I was just driving.